Call this meeting to order. Jim, would you deliver the invocation, please? Sure.
Father, I thank you for the blessings of this day. Give us the wisdom to make decisions that are good in your mind. Bless the employees and citizens of the city of Jasper. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. John, pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council has a copy of the agenda. I ask you to look on item B. We added police cruiser purchase. We thought since that was dealing with a few $1,000s, we might need to bring that before the council. So anyway, council, we're sorry to have to add that, but we'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda with that addition item B.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by hand. Thank you, council. Please, the minutes of the previous meeting, January the 6th.
Regular council meeting Wednesday, January 6, 2016. Mayor Weaver called a meeting to order at 6 p.m. He requested Lonnie Waters give the invocation. Councilmember Navy led in the recital of the Pledge of Allegiance. Before beginning the regular business of council, Mayor Weaver turned the meeting over to City Attorney Bill Pickett for the swearing in of the newly re-elected council members and mayor. Mr. Pickett administered the oath of office to council members Tony Fountain, Sean Faust, and Jim Looney. Mr. Pickett then administered the oath of office to Mayor John Weaver. Mayor Weaver asked that the agenda be reviewed and approved by council. Councilmember Allison Boyle made a motion to approve the agenda, and Councilmember Navy seconded the motion. Motion carried unanimously. City Clerk Lisa Hoyle read the minutes of the December 7, 2015 regular meeting. Councilmember Tony Fountain made a motion to adopt the minutes as read. Councilmember Jim Looney seconded the motion. Motion passed by 3 votes in favor. Councilmembers Allison Boyle and Snavy abstained since they were absent at the December 7th meeting. City Clerk Lisa Hoyle read the minutes of the December 29, 2015 called meeting. Councilmember Allison Boyle made a motion to adopt the minutes as read. Councilmember Snavy seconded the motion. Motion carried unanimously. There was no old business to discuss. Item A under new business. Mayor Weaver turned the meeting over to Councilmember Jim Looney. Councilmember Looney opened the floor for nominations for city manager for 2016. Councilmember Tony Fountain nominated John Weaver to continue to serve in that capacity, and Councilmember John Faust seconded the nomination. Nomination accepted by unanimous vote. Item B under new business. Mayor Weaver opened the floor for nominations for Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember John Faust nominated Councilmember Jim Looney to continue to serve in that capacity for 2016. Councilmember Snavy seconded the motion. Nomination passed with 4 votes in favor. Councilmember Jim Looney abstained from voting. Item C under new business. Mayor Weaver presented his appointments for 2016. For the Planning and Zoning Commission, Mayor Weaver recommended that Tim Borley be reappointed for a 3-year term. Councilmember Allison Boyle made a motion to accept the appointment, and Councilmember Jim Looney seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. For the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals, Mayor Weaver recommended that Karen Proctor be reappointed for a 3-year term. Councilmember Jim Looney made a motion to accept the appointment, and Councilmember John Faust seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. For the Downtown Development Authority, Mayor Weaver entertained a motion to reappoint Ken Pent and Martha Poole for a 6-year term. Councilmember Snavy made a motion to accept the appointment, and Councilmember Allison Boyle seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. For the City of Jasper Tree Board, Mayor Weaver entertained a motion to reappoint Kurt Garner, Mike Benson, and Marty Callahan for a 4-year term. Councilmember Tony Fountain made a motion to accept the appointment, and Councilmember Snavy seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. For the Jasper Housing Authority, Mayor Weaver recommended that Larry Johnson be reappointed for a 5-year term. Councilmember Jim Looney made a motion to accept the recommendation, and Councilmember Snavy seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. Mayor Weaver read the following recommendations for the council committees. Finance Committee, Jim Looney and John Faust. Councilmember Allison Boyle made a motion to accept the mayor's recommendation for Finance Committee. Councilmember Snavy seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. Mayor Weaver read the remaining committee recommendations. Water Committee, Tony Fountain. Public Safety, Allison Brown, I need to change that, it should be Hoyle. Streets, Ann Morrow. Parks, John Faust and Ann Morrow. I forgot both your names, John, I'm sorry. I'll fix that. JYSA Liaison, John Faust. Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to accept the mayor's recommendation for the council committees. Councilmember Tony Fountain seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. Item D under new business, Mayor Weaver recognized Sonny Underwood to present to council a change to Pebble Grill's 2016 alcohol license to include the sale of distilled spirit. Councilmember Ann Snavy made a motion to approve the alcohol license change, and Councilmember Allison Boyle seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. Economic developer Gerry Nechvatal gave a report to council. Finance Director Lisa Hoyle gave a financial report for the month of December 2015. Lonnie Waters was absent, but the December animal control report was presented in the council's package. Chief Greg Lovell gave a report of police activities for the month of December 2015. Chief Steve Roper gave a report of fire activities for the month of December 2015. Councilmember John Faust gave an update on JYSA activities. Being no other business to come before council, Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Council is scheduled to convene next the called council meeting to be held February 1st, 2016.
Entertain a motion
Now make a
with the name changes.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as read with name change.
Have a motion?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, with show of hands. Thank you, council. Allison, you were telling me that we had some visitors tonight. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what they're doing?
We do have two visitors. We have, ladies, if you'll stand please, we have Mary Zeideman and Slim Bailey Jordan. They are members of the Youth Leadership Pickens program that is offered through the Chamber of Commerce, and one of their requirements this year is to attend a city council meeting and take notes and report back, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what all they're supposed to do, but I think they are the first two to come before council. Is that, have you all seen them yet? I haven't yet. So congratulations, ladies. You're the first.
Ladies, if you would like to come up, we're not going to come up behind you. We're going to let you stand right here, and we'll let you have a picture. Lonnie, you got a photo? You got a camera? Progress? I'm not going to sign that until you say your thing.
Those teachers.
Yeah,
He's got those.
yeah, he's been
I can make a copy.
in the classroom.
It's been many years since you've been speaking.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll give you one with a chain.
Thank you.
Are we going down for a picture?
Yeah, we can. I just about to take it. Let's go.
Decent chair.
You're meeting your outside side.
Again. Well, good luck, girls, with
Thank
your
you,
endeavors.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Who takes care of it? Who takes care of it?
Under old business, we have none. Is that correct, Lisa? We have nothing jumping on us lately? Okay, under new business, equipment purchase, grade off. And we put this in the budget last year, and if you've been watching the screen, it has been popping up on a regular basis. And it's cleaning out the ditches. And I can't brag about this, but we really have cleaned out the ditches in Jasper, I know, for 23 years. And I believe prior to that probably needed out, but cleaned out. But anyway, this machine is a rubber tire, and it is able to travel on the road, and you can scoop the ditch, not going so deep as to get into your utilities. And it's hard to do this with a track hoe because it's constant moving, rolling. This thing rides the truck rides behind it, and it just 1-2 motion, you put it in the truck and you take it off and you fill the truck. This truck, this Great All, is a 2007. A comparable to it, brand new, is $342,500. I might have missed out a few on the low side. This piece of equipment is $65,000. It's owned by Cope Equipment in Jasper, and several years ago, I've been asking them to look for one that the city could use. And this thing started out about $55,000 thereabout, and changed after we wanted air conditioning repairs and all the repairs they did to it. So the price has finally gotten up after $13,000 of work to $65,000. So, but anyway, I looked online for comparables, and anywhere from 68 was one close to this model to 95,000 for this year model. This has 20,000 miles and 6,000 hours. So we've had it worked on, looked at, we've worked on it, maintained it since probably November. And we have it in the shop presently, doing some work on the transmission where the bolts would work loose, and that is completed and that's ready to go. And there's a little switch alternator or relay that we're working on to bring it back and forth to the front and the back. And we should be putting the piece of equipment back on the job probably this week. But anyway, $65,000, Luke promised me is the lowest he's going to take after he put it in the garage for the last time, had the air conditioner repaired and a few things like this. But we could really use the piece of equipment, and I think we can keep it on the road. It takes 4 men for traffic control. Usually we like to close the street we're working on, but when we do, we might need 5 or 6 men that would do the traffic control and haul and carry the waste basically out of the ditches, and we're kind of putting that as close as we can around the community on the roads. So we'll be filling the shoulders, deep slopes, and whatever.
You said it had 6,000 hours?
6,000.
How many hours did it generally run before they start getting more problems? Do you know?
Well, we repaired all the problems on this one, so they stay on a fleet for a long period of time if you take care of it and maintain it. But the thing about this, that the value of this type piece of equipment is that we have been able to go down without getting in the stream or near the stream and reach over and break a beaver dam that was backing traffic up, backing water up to the Speedburger and those areas that floods. So this gives us a lot of different options instead of trying to use a track hoe. From the SPLOST. Bill, if you will, tell a little bit about the SPLOST. Well, this not going to come out of our general fund, but we did put the SPLOST.
I'm gonna write a letter tomorrow about the issue of the funds that they assume y'all approve to go ahead and buy it, we can go ahead and do that.
And this will come from the
Okay.
08 SPLOST, where the county gave the city $105,000 year before last.
Yeah.
The money's been sitting there, and that's going to leave us about $40,000, and we're looking for that infamous piece of paving equipment that we could use to patch the roads instead of having to bring contractors in when we.
40,000.
That's what we did. You saw in the earlier picture when Charlotte cut the road. So, what did I say? So, we'll entertain a motion.
This isn't something that we have to bid out.
No, we're buying this piece of equipment from a dealer in Jasper that is used.
Right.
If we were going to buy the $352,000, I'm going to put a bid on it. Or $42,000.
You wouldn't get the approval. Just saying.
But I've not found one less than this, comparable to this one on the internet. There's not many out there. But it is an excellent piece of equipment, and the guys are a little iffy with it first, but after they learned how to run those controls versus the cat control, they were able to perform a good job.
Multiple people.
I've got several people training on it, but Lawrence is taking it over.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we purchase the
Great job.
Great All 2007. Slosh.
Have a motion?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you. If you thought that was fun, it's about to get really fun. Okay. Police cruisers. Lisa, tell us all you can before Mr. Lovell has to come.
We had,
Greg, come on up and give Lisa some
help.
moral support.
Yeah.
We had budgeted for one police cruiser for this year. Towards the end of the budget process, we had an accident with one last year and received $20,500 in insurance proceeds. We didn't get till the very end of the year. And Greg wants to order, or has ordered 2 police cruisers. Cost of each $26,450, and we estimate the equipment package at about $5,500. I don't know if we can salvage anything off the old police cruiser.
We should, more radios and stuff like that.
But the total cost, if we had to buy all of it, is close to $64,000 for both vehicles and the packages. We budgeted $31,800, and we had the insurance proceeds of $20,500 from the prior year that we can use. It leaves us a balance remaining of $11,560.
Okay. Obviously, you can understand the math on this. Greg, explain to them what happened to your fleet once the car was wrecked. And
It was our newest Dodge. I don't know if y'all know about it, but I remember when the young man from Marietta stole our police car and ended up wrecking it in Ball Ground Police Department, Cherokee, involved. That put us down one as far as car, and the rest of them have got hundreds of thousands of miles on them. And getting low on them. We still got the one Dodge, and the Explorer that we purchased, what was it, last year, is running good. It worked good in the snow we just recently had. So we're going to go back with the Ford all-wheel drive. Sheriff's Office is using them here as well. Fannin County starting to use them. Georgia State Patrol's purchased 60 of them. They're going to start issuing them to the northern county. So it's a benefit, especially being in the North Georgia mountains with them as well at the time.
okay. I want to jump in here for council's benefit. Greg has placed the order, but he can only take one if he wants to. So we got a cart before the horse, but he told me out there a while ago, I just take one if I need to. So, but what we'd like to do is spend that money for the Charger. And Lisa explained to us a little bit for the council how we're going to come up with $11,000 without destroying the police budget.
Well, we budgeted for police building improvements, $10,000.
Which we
And
still
we would
want
have
to do
to-
that, but next year.
May just have to wait.
We have to put that off.
And a building improvement or a car?
That's my question.
Well, the building improvement may be coming, you know, I think.
Wait for the sheriff's
For the
office.
sheriff's office, I don't know if they know that,
That's
but
another opportunity.
Greg Task Force.
But we've taken the money from the building, postponed the building improvements for a year, the cost of it, so we got to come up with any materials. We won't need many materials, so with $10,000, probably still have to come up with a little sign to show where the PD is located. Won't cost anywhere near $10,000, so we might tap into that just a little. But that being said, I think we can use the car presently more than, it's got new sheet, new roof on it, so it's all internal improvements that they want to make. They wait till next year. And that gives you your $10,000 that we've been looking for.
We'll just take the other two out of your check.
Insurance proceeds are after the note on the destroyed vehicle is paid off.
We're still paying on that one. I believe we are. I'll have to look and see, because that was one of the newer ones.
We got to pay it off.
Maybe, I'll look and see. I can't remember right now if it's paid off, because it was one of the,
I thought it was the last one we bought.
Yeah.
we didn't finance that one. We were gonna finance that one and we didn't, because that was pending when I got here, and we didn't finance that one, so it is paid for. It's paid for, completely paid for.
That answers your question.
I knew we were, we had some.
Well, I was thinking that was one that was
Yeah, and the papers were here when I got here, and we'd already paid for it and everything.
They're not really budgeting the one that you're driving.
Yeah, the insurance would have paid it off if
Yeah.
there wasn't.
But not
any
yet.
funds.
We still have the money, so. Okay, with that,
Just don't come to me later and
conditional
say,
that we have the,
"Hey,
It is, I know.
Okay.
yeah.
would entertain a motion.
oh, we have one."
No.
I don't
I'll make
think
a motion that we purchase 2 cruisers.
one that we budgeted and one with the
Everybody,
proceeds.
both proceeds coming out of the building fund.
Okay. You got all that? John made a motion with the building funds.
I second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Without a bombshell. All in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you, council. It's unanimous. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, council. Yeah, well, they quit making the pursuit.
Bill? The next one's executive session. Is there any reason that needs to go into executive session? For that proper?
Yeah.
Okay. Council, and
You might
yes,
want to do these other things first and then go into it.
I thought it was next.
Well, it is.
Well, it is.
It is, yeah. But I was looking at it like.
So, complete. Thank you, Bill. Okay, guest and
Get all the mean work.
we got to discuss a little real estate deal that's pending with the city, and we need to have a little privacy with this, that will come out. If we have any action, we'll tell you what we have to do, and there should be some action after discussion. So with that, we'll entertain a motion to go into closed session. Motion to go into closed session. Second, all in favor? Thank you, council.
Make a motion to come out of executive council.
Have a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion and a second. Allison? Any discussion? Being all in favor, we'll show hands. Thank you, council. Okay. Would entertain a motion for discussion or whatever pertaining to the executive session.
I make a motion that we give city manager authority to make an offer on a piece of 2-acre property on the north side of town.
Have a motion. Is that clear enough, Bill?
Yeah.
Motion, we get a second.
Do we want it not to exceed on here?
Yeah.
Not to exceed $10,000.
Have a motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. That's 4-4. All opposed? One opposed. And I have to wait for this line. That's all the business tonight. We're going to the mayor's report, and I can't wait to say this. Gerry, now you know how we feel.
No, now we know how you
Yeah.
Did I say that wrong?
Yes.
Come on up, Gerry.
I'm totally good.
All right.
In fact, I'm very proud.
We don't want you to buy that land for we could.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm pleased to be with you. I have 2 items that I want to share with you this evening. One is every year the state comes out with tier rankings based on wealth within a community, and it drives things like job tax credits. And for a long time, we've been a tier 4 community, and we continue to be a tier 4 community, which means we are, per their measurements, one of the wealthiest counties in the state. And one thing that I found interesting is Georgia Power put together a nice consolidated brochure for our use, and it also lists by county the wage averages. And one thing that I found rather interesting this afternoon that I want to share with you. So, on average, Pickens County residents make $39,000 a year. And surprisingly, by comparison, Cherokee County is $37,284. So with all the commerce that they have down there, you would think that their average wage would be higher than Pickens County. So I found that rather surprising. Just a few other things, again, that I wanted to throw out. Gilmer County's at $28,500, so we're almost a little over $10,000 higher based on this measurement than Gilmer County. Fannin County is another benchmark that we often look at. Blue Ridge, they have a very thriving downtown with a lot of businesses, but their average wage is only $28,700, again, compared to $39,000. The other one that I found rather interesting is Dawson County. You know, they have the outlets and things like that, and the perception is they have a lot of economic development going on, and we would, I think, just automatically think that people over there are doing very well, that their average wage is $26,156. So looking through these figures is really rather interesting. And if you recall, I shared, I think a month or two back with the Northwest Georgia data came out, showing that Pickett County had the highest per capita income within the 15 county region. Now, I know that we don't see that every day, and I don't think that necessarily reflects the standard of living across the board for our residents here. And this is obviously why we strive to bring in things so that people can better themselves and earn more money. But again, just from a pure measurement standpoint, I found some of these figures rather interesting, and I want to share those this evening. So that's all I had on this, unless there's
Yeah, that was based on the mean of income, correct?
Correct, it's an average now. So like I said, it doesn't necessarily reflect, our conditions across the board, but again, found it rather interesting.
A question on that.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the, is there an age bracket, like out of high school or out of college to?
This is just an across-the-board average, based on what I can tell. And this is, again, what they use. This is the reason why we're a Tier 4 community,
Right.
because these averages are what drive those figures. So
And
again,
the effect on us, real short, makes it more difficult to get some grades.
A lot of grades.
yeah, it does. It does.
And the elephant in the room is Bent Tree Big Canoe. Their income skews the entire county. We're only 30,000 population, not 140,000 population. And their incomes in those communities raise all of our averages. So,
Retirement.
so our grants, the tobacco money all went south because Jasper was so wealthy. And I haven't seen anybody from one of those communities drop by City Hall and say, can I make a donation today, lately? So no taxes. I really haven't. So that being said, I made that speech to the governor's office one time, but still didn't help us lower our tier level, and we still are not eligible for a lot of grants that a lot of our communities are. So it upset me many a time.
Yeah, so like some type of
And
way.
not as much as you did tonight, you're telling it again.
Well, I mean, there's, I guess in some respects, these are good things.
No, you had to do this.
Perhaps maybe a weighted average or something would be more beneficial, but, I think that battle's been fought many times, and it's gone nowhere. But, anyhow, that's that. The other thing I want to share this evening is that, entertainment is a large industry in the state. And right now, it's ramping up in our community and in North Georgia. We have one opportunity where it's a major motion picture. Typically, they feature superheroes in these types of films. Again, apologize, need to be a little judicious in blatantly saying things or get my knuckles wrapped. But they've found one location in our community that they seem to be very excited about. They're classifying it as a key location, which means they'll be seeking other locations around it as they move forward with planning out their production. So working with them very closely on that. The other thing that's happened, and this really has, I think, a more significant impact. About 2 years ago, we were approached by an independent film company. They were looking within the community for some specific sites. Spent several days with them. They went back to California, really didn't hear much. I touched base with them from time to time. Well, they just sent an email about 2 weeks ago stating that they received their funding. They plan to do production almost exclusively in Pickett County and the city of Jasper this summer. They'll be in town for about a month to 6 weeks. They're already looking for housing and some other things. So this is the type of opportunity where our community gets a return. They'll be here, they'll be buying food, they'll be buying services, they'll be hiring people as extras, they'll be renting places to stay. So I'm really more excited about that one probably than the other one. The other one has big fun and all, but again, this is where we get a return. So I'll be working on that. They've given me a list. They revised the storyline I've got about 25 locations that they need assistance with finding, so that's going to be keeping me busy for a while. But I did want to share those things with you because, again, it's kind of ramping up right now, and under the right circumstances, we do get a return. And I do think we have one right now that will give us a return this summer. So that's what I had to share with you, unless there's any questions that I'll be glad to answer.
Questions, Councilman?
Thank you.
Well, real quick,
Yes, sir.
any industrial activity, anything that would bring in working jobs,
Right.
jobs that people can go to work?
Right now, the industrial pipeline is a little bit slow. Mayor Weaver, we actually have done a pretty good job of filling up a lot of our locations and trying to find new areas for industry to move in is something that I'm working right now. The USDA has a grant program. It's called Rural Small Business something. I apologize, I can't remember exactly how it was worded. But it's an actual grant. And it appears that some of that money could be used to purchase properties and other things. I'm going to be contacting the USDA rep just to make sure that as I'm reading it is accurate. But this would be something that will help us perhaps get some property that we can then recruit with. If you recall, I think sometime back I mentioned, even with raw land right now, the state is really only marketing properties that have been, quote, grad certified, which is a certification program saying that this property has met minimum standards in certain areas, and the cost of that is $70,000. So to really become, I think, highly competitive in those state level projects, we have to spend some money, and this USDA grant may be a way for us to get that. So right now, again, it's pretty slim, but the good news is, like with the shoe plant, they've done a pretty good job of bringing people in, bringing new companies in. And we're just a little bit lean right now in offerings.
And there's been, which I know you don't want to discuss, but some activity on the property over at the airport.
Yes.
So there's things going on, council, that takes Jerry's attention that he can't say, but I can satisfy some of the people out there who hear us talking about this park or that park and don't have a job. And so what I yield for a shoe plant or a H.D. Lee in Jasper, Georgia that would accommodate some jobs. When Maytag moves to Mexico, so it's not a really exciting time when you're trying to fill these jobs. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
Lisa, financial report?
In your packet, you have the financial report for the first month of this year. And I'm glad to say we're under budget in all departments, all funds. We took in sales tax in January for December, $100,588. Compared to last year at this time, it was $101,169, close to the same. Plus, we took in $78,279. Took it in January, that was for December sales.
Available cash, do you have that for me?
Yes, the 2014 SPOS, we have available $334,500. And we talked about the 2008, we've got $106,000 in there now. And after the purchase of this equipment, we'll have around $41,000. That's all I had, unless you've got some questions. I put a sales tax graph in there too, on the chart, kind of show you the last 4 years is on there. It's kind of hanging in there pretty steady.
13 was a weird year. Questions, council? Animal control, Lonnie Waters.
Mayor and council,
We have a big horse.
I thought a doctor.
Well, there is a dealership up
the huge round was going northbound and southbound at 515. And,
Lovell, did you ticket that?
we we got a call and a good Samaritan helped me capture it, and then some city employees went and picked up my trailer and brought it to me, and while we stood there and held it till they got there and put it on a trailer.
Where it come from?
Don't have no idea, still don't have the owner, we haven't located anybody that claims yet.
Really?
So, I don't know if it, possibly jumped out of a moving trailer going down the road or something, I have no idea. But, I do have it, and if the owner shows up, I need it, so. Other than that, I've had very few calls, I helped the county on a couple calls. So, other than around the,
What happened today? 20 cows on the road. Did you hear that?
today,
Yeah. If
they
you were too
didn't
busy
call,
working.
they didn't call me.
They didn't call you. I heard it on the radio, the sheriff's department. Greg, did you hear anything about that? Steve?
No, sir, I
Must have
didn't.
been I must have misunderstood it.
Okay, I didn't.
It's sheriff's department.
I didn't get that call. I did help the county on a couple of calls in the last couple of weeks with cattle and some horses getting out, but other than that, animal control has been pretty quiet. I have been active on other items. I have been meeting with FEMA, GEMA, and EPD, and everybody has calls. We are working on trying to expedite the Cove Creek sedimentation that has washed in. And they've been very helpful and come out and looked and made some contacts for us. And they're even looking to see if we have, they can send us some money to assist with this. So I've been meeting with them several times in the last week or two. The other thing is I'm working on the next paving bid for Arbor Hills and Hood Park. I'm moving rather rapidly with that. We would like to let it out for bid around the middle of February. And then as soon as weather gets right for research, the company that wins the bid move in and get started on those two areas.
And that means we'll have it ready for the paper, ready to advertise, and then we gotta go through the process, which takes about a month.
Right, yes.
And the intent would be to do the whole subdivision at once?
Both
Yes.
subdivisions.
Both
Both
subdivisions. That's
subdivisions.
gonna be the first project that we planned on, yes.
And that's gonna eat us up pretty good, I think.
There'll be some milling that has to be done in Arbor Hills, because we don't want too big a shoulder next to the curb and gutter. And, so that's gonna, be more expensive than just going in and resurfacing. But, it's gonna be a necessity that has to be done, so.
Thank you, Lonnie. Police report. Yes.
I moved there 2004 and been there for 7 years. I'd say 2001.
After the storm of 93, about 95, 96.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jasper Police Department, for the month of January, responded to 446 calls, service from 911 center, responded to 44 motor vehicle accidents. Jasper Police Department issued total 157 citations for the following: 2 for DUI, 127 for speeding, 5 shoplifting, 2 uninsured motorists, 18 miscellaneous violations, and 3 suspended or revoked. Georgia State Patrol issued a total of 71 citations in the city for a grand total of 228 citations in the city court. 7 state warrants were taken, 1 for battery misdemeanor, 2 for reckless conduct misdemeanor, 1 aggressive driving misdemeanor, 1 criminal trespass misdemeanor, and 2 aggravated assault felony. Miscellaneous calls answered 32 alarm calls, 19 disorderly calls, 8 harassment, 3 trespassing or loitering, 20 suspicious activity calls, 28 domestic disputes investigated, 0 murders.
Questions, council? Chief Rowe.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For the month of January, the city's fire department responded to 112 calls. Those were one structure fire inside the city, 2 outside the city limits, 1 vehicle fire inside, none outside, 1 grass fire in, none out, 15 motor vehicle accidents with injuries inside, none outside the city, 47 emergency medical responses inside, 23 outside, 15 other calls in, 7 out. As always, that's anything you didn't hear above. At the end of the month, it was 112. Fire inspection looked at 2 sets of plans for construction and conducted 10 inspections.
Questions, Council?
What were the 2 plans for construction?
One was a renovation. Actually, I think both of them were renovations. I don't remember the names right off the top of my head. I think they were both renovation projects.
Questions, Council? Any further questions? Trying to find out what's going on over there.
I'll make notes next time though, so I'll be sure to know. You got me once, you won't get me again.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
John? Quick update on the JYSA?
Wrestling's starting to wind down for the folk style season, and baseball's starting to ramp up, so kids are busy, and that's what we like to see.
Fields were covered up yesterday, weren't they? County and in the city, I believe. Okay.
Have you done work on the field yet? You were
No.
gonna do some,
No, first time we had weather yesterday, and today we're working on sewer.
but it is,
It's like, we're gonna work the infields and
I remember something
re-seed the
about
fields. Right. And they wanna work on the mounds. Being no other business comes from the council, we entertain a motion.
so move.